Before you begin to relax very deeply to the sounds of my words, I'm just going to say a few words about the experience of unrequited love. Being in love, longing for someone who doesn't love you back, or even particularly care about you, can be agonizing. Obsessive thoughts of the object of your affections may continually break into your mind unbidden throughout the day. You may have believed that surely they would come to love you eventually. Or perhaps you mistook what was merely politeness and civility for romantic interest on their part. You may believe that there is only one person for everyone, and that this person is your one and only. Maybe you want to forget about them, but you just can't. Just think for a moment how wonderful it's going to feel when you no longer have to obsess about them. Won't it be nice when you're able to choose whether to think about them or not? At your discretion. And when you do think about them, how good it will be to do so feeling completely calm and detached. It's important to understand that when you become obsessed with someone, there are actually two of them. There is the person you have in your mind, the product of your fantasies and imagination, and then there is the real person. But the two are separate. We can distinguish between love, when you really know someone and care for them, and they know and care for you, and obsession, which is largely a concoction of the imagination. Even if you had been in a relationship with this person, you may still be looking at the fantasy of them rather than the real them. Sometimes it can be their very unavailability that makes them the more attractive. The more inaccessible something is, the more we perceive it as valuable. This rule holds good for oil, gold, and food, just as it does for someone's affections. Remember, real love would make you happy and contented, not miserable and anxious. There are 1 million people in the world who would be good matches for you. Forget the dangerous idea that there is only one person for everyone. This is a myth. There will have been things in your life that were very important to you at one time that now seem unimportant. Just as once perhaps when you were growing and developing as a child, one day you found that you no longer had use for a pair of shoes that seemed so important and special when you first got them. You had simply grown out of them and moved on. There will also have been people that you were very attracted to and obsessed with in your past, and now when you think about them, you can't understand what you saw in them. This is the feeling when you realize that you used to really like someone, but they just don't do it for you anymore. For there to be harmony in the world, the force of attraction needs to be equal. Just imagine how good it's going to be when you find someone who loves you as you love them. The harmony of it. And now, you can just close your eyes and begin to relax to the sound of my voice. Or perhaps you would rather listen to my words, or maybe the spaces between the words. And with your eyes closed, as you begin to notice that relaxation increasing with each breath that you take in, and with each breath out, just beginning to release the tensions of the day, and how, with each breath, the workings of that body can just begin to rest. That's it, just breathing calm and relaxation right through your body. And your systems of the body, knowing that they've had a good day's work. And you can even begin to notice a wonderfully peaceful sensation beginning to encompass that body. Noticing how as you relax right now, you can just begin to put aside any thoughts of the day and begin to enjoy this moment as you relax deeper. Noticing how this relaxation can travel over and within your body, starting at the top of that head and moving over that face, gently massaging the tensions of the day from those facial muscles. And this wonderful relaxation traveling down that neck and over those shoulders, relaxing each and every muscle within and down those arms, towards those hands, and right to the tip of those fingers. Just noticing how comfortable and relaxed you feel, and traveling down over that chest, relaxing deeper, towards that stomach. And this relaxation just calming and resting that body, and your pelvis relaxing, and those thighs relaxing. This warmth of relaxation passing towards those knees and over those calves, relaxing each and every cell within, and over those feet right to the tips of those toes, bathed in deep rest and comfort. And to take a moment to notice how your whole body is feeling rested and comfortable. And I'd like you just to imagine a pathway in your mind right ahead of you, and for you to begin your journey along this path. It can be such a beautiful pathway. The colours and the light across it, and the shapes, even the texture of the path beneath your feet. And you can really notice the ground beneath your feet as you journey forward right now, relaxing deeper with each step, taking each new step with a renewed sense of comfort and calm. And as you continue along this pathway, you might notice the wonderful scents surrounding you. Perhaps the beautiful scent of flowers on a wonderful day, or perhaps the freshness of the air ahead. And as you continue along the path, you are more aware of the beautiful sounds around you. The birds singing and dancing in the air, or the leaves in the trees just rustling and fluttering as if talking to one another. And with each step, you can begin to feel even more relaxed and rested. And as your journey along your chosen path continues, becoming aware of the wonderful colours that surround and encompass you, and how the shapes can change with the changing of the light, and how, with this change, you can become more aware of things perhaps you did not realize before on this journey. And as you step even further forwards on this path, notice a doorway in front of you, perhaps made of wood or maybe glass. And as you draw ever closer to this doorway, being aware that you can go through to a special place. And perhaps this is a place that you visited before, or maybe somewhere that you would like to go. And as you take those last few steps, take some time to notice just how relaxed you are in this journey. Good. And as you pass through that doorway, become aware of how relaxed, comfortable, and confident you feel in this special place. And take a few moments to explore this place. It's almost as if the atoms and the particles of this place can flow into you, allowing you to feel like this place, so confident and calm and steady and clear. And noticing your surroundings and how good they make you feel. Breathing in the quality of this place and relaxing so deeply. Becoming aware of new things with every moment that you explore. That's it. And I would like you to imagine that in this special place of yours, you can notice a window in front of you. And through this window of time, you can allow yourself to relax even more deeply. And so notice that looking through this window allows you many new opportunities of excitement. How this window can allow you to become even more aware of the possibility of change. Just as when you were a young child, growing up and changing in both personality and body, there were many things that seemed very important to you then, such as your favorite pair of shoes, or a particular toy, or something that in those times seemed like such a big part of everything at the time. Those shoes that you wore on so many occasions, those shoes that you were proud to wear, those shoes that made you feel better about yourself, and how eventually you grew out of that pair of shoes because they no longer fitted you, and how you discarded them and moved on to a new pair that matched the size of your feet better as they were still growing and developing, and how, looking back, discarding those shoes was necessary as you had moved on. And I would like you to imagine that through this window of opportunity, you are able to watch yourself and observe yourself from the outside, and to allow yourself to watch that you who is thinking about that person, and notice how wonderfully calm and detached you are as you watch the you through the window thinking about that person. How comfortable you are. Just allowing yourself to notice just what it is that is different about you, and how easy it is to think about them whilst feeling detached and relaxed. Good. And I would like you to picture in your mind, just to imagine a spoon, just a normal kitchen spoon, and for you to allow yourself to notice that there is no attachment to that spoon. It is just part of life, something that you don't really even have to think about, and really focus on the feelings that you have for this spoon, or the non-feelings, so utterly detached. That's good. And while increasing these feelings and allowing them to intensify, just allow your thumb and forefinger to drift together and touch right now as you get those detached feelings even more clearly. That's good. And while increasing these feelings of detachment and allowing them to intensify, as if you're very, very distanced from being associated with anything at all except deep relaxation and detachment. And that detachment becoming stronger within you, touching each and every cell within that body. And now, still with the thumb and finger together, just now allowing that person into your mind, and notice how the attachment has lessened, how you can think about them in a much more detached way. That's good. And on the count of 3, just allow that thumb and forefinger just to drift apart. And 1, and 2, and 3. That's it, just letting the thumb and forefinger drift apart. Good. And whilst looking through that clear and crystal window in your mind, just notice that person, and taking time out to notice how relaxed and comfortable you feel watching this person. How detached you've become, like watching them from the other side of the universe, feeling so disassociated and detached, and the relief of that. Great. And through that window, I would just like you to notice that you can watch yourself in the future. Watching that you in the future who has really moved on. Noticing what is different about that you. How you look. How you're feeling. How life has become so productive and satisfying for you. And noticing that you in the future, embarking on new relationships, starting new matches with new people, people who can give you what you need, and how these relationships are relationships of equality and quality. And I would like you to allow yourself to drift into that you in the future, to take a few moments to really experience the new pleasure of these feelings from the future, and how different your life is now. Just realizing, at some level, that you hadn't even been thinking about that person. 1 in 5 billion. One of just multitudes of people. And just how wonderful it is to realize this. And how relaxed and comfortable you're feeling. How even more detached you now feel. Like they're just very, very distanced, and you have your life back. That's good. And you know that you've learnt something new, something very important. And you don't even have to know what it is that you've learnt consciously. And when you hear the count of 5, you can come back to the room feeling relaxed, comfortable, and confident of your new journeys ahead. And 1 and 2, just taking time to understand your new learnings. And 3 and 4, perhaps beginning to notice the sounds around you again. And 5, coming right back to the room and opening your eyes. Excellent.